What's up, everybody? This is your boy, Mr. Pound for Pound himself, and I'm definitely back in the house. You already know what it is. It went down September 14th, the one, Floyd Money Mayweather versus Saul Canelo Alvarez, and boy, did I get it wrong. Oh, Money Mayweather looked very, very, very prime Mayweather, and he looked good. We're going to talk about that real quick. We're also going to talk about, the scorecards, and we're also going to talk about the haters, and we're also going to talk about my take. So, let's go over the fight, big event. Mexican Independence Weekend. It was a crowd of 16,746 people jam-packed at the MGM Grand in Vegas. I mean, it was just a grand event. If you guys saw the weigh-in, I think there was like 12,000 people at that. There was just so many people involved in this fight. Big fight, the one. Both guys deserve to be there. Both guys deserve what they got to get, and Mayweather deserved that victory. Let's go ahead and go at the punch stats. I mean, if you look at punch stats, Mayweather showed his dominance. I mean, really. I mean, if you look, he landed 232 punches out of 505 punches, and Canelo Alvarez only landed 117 out of 526. So he was throwing a lot more than he was landing Alvarez. Mayweather's just too elusive, too slick. I mean, Alvarez said so. Said it himself. I couldn't get to him. It was hard. I couldn't find him. He was too fast. He was too slick. And Mayweather did what he said his dad put in front of him. His dad put a game plan. He went out there and executed the game plan. And he looked good. He looked really good. Actually, his counter punching was on. His jabs were good. Everything in there looked money. You know what I mean? So all credit to Floyd Mayweather. He got a decision. Although it wasn't the decision most of us thought it was going to be. Although I had Alvarez to win the fight, I thought he lost the fight convincingly. We all saw the little bit of a scandal on the scorecards. Two judges had it 116, 112. One judge had it 114, 114. Come on, CJ Ross. That was Judge CJ Ross, who has actually, ladies and gentlemen, stepped down from judging. She will no longer be judging. Actually, she's on an indefinite leave. She has said that she will be taking time off, but she will be keeping in touch. CJ Ross, 64-year-old judge, been in the game for a long time. She's been involved in a scandal like this before with the Timothy Bradley, Manny Pacquiao judging. A lot of people disagreed with that decision. CJ Ross was another one of the judges who had a bad card on that as well. So she has been in the light in the past for bad judging. Unbelievable. 114. I can't even really see how you would see that. Mayweather won the fight in every way, almost every round. If you wanted to be nice and give Canelo 1 or 2 rounds, but that would be being really nice. Personally, I thought Canelo had the wrong game plan. I thought he was going to mug him. I thought he was going to use his size. I thought he was going to use his speed. I thought he was going to use his youth. He didn't use any of that. So, all credit to Mayweather for shutting that down, frustrating Canelo, making him unable to find him. Surrounding this fight, after the fight, the vibe was more, to me, it seemed more like the haters came out and the CJ Ross scandal, and not really anybody people needed to center more on, I think, Mayweather's victory. Because when Mayweather won, I think he won just so easy, people looked for a scapegoat for other things. Like, oh, well, Canelo Alvarez was never that good, or he was never that. Like, they just waited for him for this one loss so they could all the Alvarez haters could jump out the closet and be like, yeah, he lost finally, look. It was more of that, and then more of the CJ Ross than actually the Mayweather victory. It's like, when I talk to people, that's what they mention first. It's either, oh, Alvarez was this, or it's either, oh man, boxing is fixed because of the CJ Ross thing. It's never, a few people that I've talked to, a couple, literally, not many, have been like, Mayweather was just too good that night. Whereas that's where I'm at with it. Mayweather's just good that night. He would have probably beat anybody in that division that night, the way he looked that night. It wasn't Canelo Alvarez's garbage. It wasn't, anything was fixed or set up, I don't believe. But Floyd just looked good. Give him his credit. Simple as that. I mean, it's not that hard to say Floyd looked really, really good rather than having to knock down another fighter or, talk about other situations like the scorecards and the judging. So Floyd Money Mayweather has opportunities now to go on to bigger fights. Of course, we're going to see bigger events. You still got Sergio Martinez out there. We still got, other big fights that could be made. There's Andre Ward. If that wanted to happen, then maybe they could do a catch weight. But right now, Money Mayweather, the man, the rainmaker, looked brilliant, looked spectacular against Canelo Alvarez. Like I said, give him his props. That's pretty much all you can do. All the Canelo Alvarez haters, you just got to kind of sit back, because nobody was really hating when he beat Trout, knocked Trout down for the first time, and, did all that. It wasn't until he finally lost that haters came out and jumped on the, ooh, yes, we can say something now, rah, 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 bandwagon on Canelo. So, bottom line is, give Mayweather's props. He looked spectacular. He looked like the old Floyd that I used to love. So the Floyd that beat Corrales. I mean, that's how good he looked. So I want to see Money in these big fights all the time, and I want to see him perform like that all the time. So I don't want to see him go from a Canelo to a nobody, a Joe Schmo, and then say I'm greatest all time. I want to see him taking the hard fights from here on out. You want the greatest all time? Earn it. He's already greatest to this era, so just got to push a little harder. And Floyd's got the personality to do that. I would say if he went on his way out and fought nothing but top dudes from here on out, then hey, maybe even then greatest all time. But we'll have to see, because it's always hard when you talk greatest all time, because then you're talking eras, and not every era is the same. We got Peds in this era versus, whatever they had back in the 40s and 50s. So it's always hard when you talk that way. But as of right now, Floyd Money Mayweather, the best. Bottom line, nothing else. Mr. Pound for Pound, signing off.